Good morning. It's Monday here. Thank you, Jesus, for another day. Let's get into the video. We had to remake one of those red oak doors that are sitting over there because I didn't like how the center panel looked. So we remade that earlier today, and now I'm just finishing boring out this door, double checking the measurements. And then all of those doors are over, the rest of the doors are over here, and they will be able to get sent out. They could get sent out right now, but we may hold off until tomorrow because the other facility has a bunch of doors that they'll finish today. So we may just hold off on these so nothing gets confused, or things can happen. So, which is fine. Brandon is over there cutting a bunch of face frames down for a bunch of new cabinets. For all of those cabinets, I need to organize all those cabinets and put all those cabinet shelves together. And then that'll take most of the day probably. There's like 20 cabinets, which is like a normal sized order for us. Jacob is taping today at another house, which is good. And the doors that the production facility is working on, he's taping there. He'll prime and spray tomorrow, install the box or the doors on Wednesday. Also probably need to work on these sometime this week maybe. But we are moving. We're moving. That is like really the most important thing for the week. So it's a whole bunch of stuff going on this week. We did a whole bunch of stuff this weekend. Let's finish up this door and then we can start building cabinets. Brandon is still cutting down a bunch of our face frame material. And I have been sorting all of our cabinets so I can start putting these cabinets together. This one's number 16. And all I do is I put tape with the cabinet number down. That way I know where each cabinet is. Once I get all the cabinets sorted, I'll come through. We're not countersinking anymore. We're using a different type of screw now, which I think works out way better. Saves a little bit of time, and I think it works better actually too. So looks better, definitely. So once I get all these organized, I'm going to start going through each and every single one cabinet at a time. I will Craig jig the pieces that need Craig jig, the left, the right, the bottom, and the top, and then start putting everything together with glue and screws. Number 12. See if we can't find that one. Oh yeah, right here. Big boy right here. Probably the sink. I think that's the sink. Brandon's cutting down material for even more face frames. All the face frames are for this cabinet order. They're beech material. Number 13. Right here. They are beech material because these cabinets are painted. I believe the color is going to be Hamburg gray, which is like I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like a greenish gray. It looks really good. We sprayed it before a long time ago. Comes out looking really nice. Number 7. Number 14. I believe this is 14. Yes, it is. Number 7. What I'm going to do is finish this pile right here. Figure out the rest of these pieces. And then I'll start Craig jigging and putting cabinets together. I'm Craig jigging, or pocket jigging, these cabinets. This is the right side. That's the left side. I have the left side done. I put 5. Which is probably overkill, but I'd rather have too many than not enough. I have this Craig jig machine set up for 1/2 inch material, which this is. Then it's rinse and repeat. I put it down here. I have it spaced a certain way, so that way when we screw in with the face frame into the other face frame, we don't hit this pocket screw or Craig jig, which has happened multiple times. So that's why I do it this way now. And it's super important to get these perfectly, or it's super important to get this machine set up perfect, because if the screw head does not sit flush or recessed, it'll pop the panel that we put on these. So super important to get that set up correctly, which we have it. I actually have it a hair deeper than the 1/2 inch, which is just how I like it. And then now, since these are completed, we can take these back over here and begin gluing and screwing all of our pieces for this first cabinet. So I have the bottom Craig jigged. I have my top piece Craig jigged. Grab some wood glue here. It's a little bit gummed up. I think I have a knife over there that will ungum it. See here. Oh yeah, just a little bit. There we go. Perfect, okay. What I'll start by doing is making sure the dados are cleaned out, which they usually are, but sometimes they are not. Looks perfect. I'm gonna put a lot of glue and just kind of wipe it with my finger. There we go. Because I don't want the glue to get on the inside. Since it's UV'd or clear coated, the glue will come off easy, but if you forget to check for that, then you're in trouble. So we don't want to do that. Piece is bowed a little bit, which happens with plywood, even though it's a high-end double UV plywood. Now I'm just going to check up top here, which you probably cannot see, but I'm essentially lining the top up with the top. The other piece, if it will. This one's wanting to fight me a lot here, which is not my favorite thing in the world. Okay, it's pretty decent. Let's see, is that gonna do what I want it to do? Not really. Let's put a different screw in here into the next hole. Unscrew the first screw. Let's see if we can't get this up. I don't know why it's having to fight me so much here. There we go. That's a lot better. Sometimes it just likes to fight. There we go. It's perfect now. Okay, now we will CNC, which you probably cannot see, but the CNC has little pilot holes drilled for us. And then we stop countersinking because one, you're countersinking into material, so you're losing material, you're losing grip strength for the screw, and then two, I hate how it looks. This looks so clean. Again, the screw needs to be perfectly, or it needs to be recessed a hair. Otherwise, it'll pop a side panel. So that's perfect right there. I need to get my stuff out of the way for Brandon here, so he can cut some material. There we go, okay. This piece is complete. I need to do the other side now. And we'll see if this side wants to fight us as much as the other side did. Hopefully not. But I think it's going to. There we go. I think it's good. Perfect, first one's in. We'll use 1.25 inch drywall screws. I would like to test out deck screws, but these work really, really well. They're coarse thread, so they grip into the plywood. Amazing. And they're 1.25 inch. So they're definitely long enough to go through with a 1/2 inch material. You just have to be careful you're going perfectly straight, otherwise they will pop on the inside, which is never a good thing. This one, there we go. Perfectly flush. Now, next step, sometimes hard on these little cabinets, doing the floor. See, I got glue in there, which isn't great. There we go. Perfect. We'll see how we did here. See if it's lined up. Sometimes these little ones are harder than the big ones. Everything is so tight. It's looking okay, but I'm gonna grab the mallet and just give it a slight little nudge without hopefully ruining anything. Okay, I believe this side is seated in. So what I'm going to do is screw this side in. So that way I'm not fighting myself back and forth, back and forth. Okay. Now, let's try to get... Or let's not get this side in. Has to fight. Always has to fight. Struggle is real here. Sometimes. It's going. It's definitely going, which is good. It's just putting up a fight. There we go. Okay. It went. God bless. Let's get it screwed in before it decides to come undone. It's just because the dados are so tight, and then the glue adds more friction. And it's a small cabinet, and this and that. But this cabinet is pretty much complete now. Glued, screwed, dadoed. But last step, which I need to go get the brad nailer for. Let's go grab that. Is the two top pieces that just help square the cabinet up. They don't really provide any structural support for the countertop. That's being transferred down through the sides of the cabinet. But they do square the cabinet up. That's why we don't use those little plastic triangles. The plastic triangles really don't provide anything. And we don't like screwing these because I've learned that we make 3/4 inch cabinets as well. Now on those you can screw because the plywood's thick enough. It doesn't pop the individual plies up and get in the way of the counter. But on this 1/2 inch material, it definitely can, and that's not a good thing. So we glue it, and I put a ton of brad nails in. I've never had an issue with this, so That's why I keep doing this. As long as you know how to use a brad nailer, this works perfect. Okay. Get that in there, that in there, and this. Amazing. It's all glued. Try to fit this piece in here. Perfect. Turn this on. Pull up the depth because I don't want the nails to just be shooting in crazy. There we go. And I am using 1¼ inch nails, so they're going to hold great. Just need to shoot straight. That'll work. Amazing. Super sturdy. Now the front is where I put my board with the Craigs, because this is what will hold the top of my face frame in place. We need to have the same offset that's right down here, up here. About 1/8 of an inch. Make sure nothing popped through. It's doing well. Out of nails. Load it back up. And get your fingers out of the way. Okay, love that. Looks amazing. I think that looks amazing. One thing I don't necessarily like is this. There we go. Now it's perfect. Okay. If I had screwed this piece right through here, sometimes likes to pop the plies right here, and then it sticks up, and then it's in the way of the counter. So that's why we nail it and glue it. Put the toe kick piece in there, slide this over here. What I'll do is I'll double check the measurements, label this cabinet, it'll be good to go. And then 16 more cabinets to do. I have most of the cabinets together. Pretty much all the lowers are together. Some uppers. Everything is screwed in with 1¼ inch screws, dadoed, glued. Just finished up this Lazy Susan, which will go all the way to the back, called a Super Susan, so you can fit a nice big Lazy Susan unit inside of here. I have the top mounted. The CNC doesn't cut this top part out, so we cut out top pieces, and then we screw them in right there. It will not be in the way of the Lazy Susan. Lazy Susan will come up right about over there, so that'll be perfect. I have 3 more uppers to put together. I need to Craig jig those. I have this big pantry to put together, and then this cabinet over here we can't put together yet because it's going to go ceiling to floor, or not floor, but countertop. We need the countertop in to measure, so I just oversized it so the CNC could cut the parts. Once everything is installed, the countertop's in, we then can get a perfect measurement, cut that down by about 1 inch or 2, and install it. So next task, I'm going to get ready for these pieces right here. I'm going to use the handheld Craig jig because the way we have it set up over there doesn't work. In the new facility, I'm going to think through it better, but in this facility, it's not set up to do long pieces like this. So handheld Craig jig those, and then I'll work on those 3, then I can go through, label everything, double check everything. I finally have all of the cabinets double checked, built, measured, labeled. They're all done. Brandon's still building the face frames, so I'm gonna help him. Finally able to come help him. I'm gonna work on this long pantry face frame, and then we'll double check all of these. We'll double check the drawer boxes based off of the face frames. Since I just did the math, I want to double check that. Once that is completed, we can sand these through the vertical belt sander, get them down from 13/16 thick to 3/4 of an inch thick. Working on the last couple face frames here. Making sure we're gluing and screwing everything together so everything lasts. And I think I know I talked about this in another video, but what I'm doing here is 1 1/4 coarse thread on the inside, and then a fine thread on the outside so it doesn't blow our end grain apart. I want to use that coarse thread though because it helps hold a lot better than the fine thread. If you're not careful with the fine thread, they can spin out. So that's why I like the coarse thread. I'm using my spacer here because it's a drawer stack. It's going to be a 5-inch, 9/15/16, 9/15/16. I want everything to be even. Clamp it. Screw it. Really nothing else to it, quite honestly. And once we get all these done, make sure everything's putty, and then we're going to double check them on that sheet over there. Our master sheet tells us where drawer boxes are, everything like that. Just need to screw in my last piece here. And then I can start puttying the ones I put together. We can start double checking, and then it'll be time to sand. And then it is over there sanding the face frames from 13/16 thick to 3/4 inch thick. Got everything labeled, double checked, looked through. It's all working on the cabinets and the face frames. I think that's going to pretty much do it for the day. We're going to finish sanding, and then tomorrow we'll have to palm sand and do a whole bunch of stuff. But if you enjoy the video, please give us a like, subscribe to the channel, check us out on Facebook, check out our website, and leave a comment. We'll see you tomorrow. Adios.